60K student loan debt. Flash 2 years later, flip life, paid off the student debt.
Kevin, you with the couch flipping. I started 2 years ago. Our first month we made 10K.
Let's go!
We'll go to the south of France, spend a week out there. I like it. Yeah, we're there.
Cheers, buddy.
Wow. I went on 6 dates in the same area for one night, and I only got caught once.
No! Whoa!
I think you got ripped off. I know you made money.
I got his movie.
Well, your wife's too hot for that.
What's your Dunkin' Donuts order?
It's a large iced caramel swirl, regular.
One more, what was it? Back in the saddle, gang. Look at us coming at you with a little bit of a different tone here. I can't really scream and yell because we have a new guest on the show today. Hello. It's Breezy F Baby, and the F is for I'm the father. Hello. Huh? Breezy, welcome to the Cooney Show, huh? Hey there, ho there, how do you do? It's Breezy F Baby, she might poop on you.
That was good. You just come up with that?
On the spot.
Wow,
Yeah. How are you, Mama? You're glowing.
Oh, thank you. I'm good. How are you, Daddy?
Look at us back in the saddle with the three of us.
Right?
And then there were three, huh, Breezy? Oh.
Is she gonna?
Nope, her eyes just fluttered.
It opened.
Huh?
It's so funny whenever, like, we don't want her nap to be over, like, she needs a longer nap, and she's about to open her eye, we're like, nobody makes any movements.
You look great. You are 5 weeks postpartum.
Yes.
How do you feel?
Good, overall.
You look amazing.
Thank you.
Wow.
Yeah, it's crazy how, like, I think I was saying this the next day I was pretty dead, but even, like, a week later, for, like, all that you go through with your body, it's crazy how, like, quick you recover, even though, like, it's not quick, but, like, to even be able to walk afterwards, I feel like is wild.
Yeah. I can't believe she was in you.
I know. I know. All 9 pounds, 22 inches.
That's a big girl.
Like, I was saying this.
Respectfully, please.
I was saying this, though. Like, I'm 61 inches tall. 61.
Yep.
She's 22.
Right.
That is more than a third of me. Where was she?
I don't know. She was folded like a brochure inside of you. Folded 3 times over.
That's why, like, remember, like, the first 2 weeks, she was so in her newborn scrunch for being so smushed in there that she kept sleeping on her side, and I was panicking because she just kept, like, rolling.
Yeah. Yeah, that was, what did you think about your labor and delivery? Were you, did it stack up to expectations, or was it worse and way more scary than it actually ever seemed?
I think, well, I don't know. I don't know if I had expectations, like, because I don't know, like, all you know is, like, stories or, like, TV, and obviously it's not like that. So, like, I kept saying my only actual my plan at the end of the day was no induction, no epidural.
Can you talk about the size of that epidural needle? It's hilarious that we are adults. Let's start there, I guess. Because, I don't know, you're able to do just anything like recreate life, and no one tells you what's really going on. You know?
Don't do anything.
People are like, oh, get the epidural, not knowing the epidural needle, for those of you that don't know, because I didn't know, you could jump rope with the epidural needle. It's huge.
I know.
And then it's a needle, gang, that goes into your wife's spine.
Yeah.
And you hold her hands while this is happening, and
because you're contracting the entire time, and you can't move.
Yeah. I'm trying to tell knock-knock jokes to prevent you from passing out.
Yeah. And it's funny, too, because, like, I mean, even me, I say, like, I worked in healthcare, and I was very interested in this stuff, and I did, like, a lot of research and, like, watched a lot of stuff, and, like, there was a lot I didn't know. Like, the epidural, like, I knew the needle was that long, but I thought it was, like, injecting a medicine or something. I didn't realize it was a half-hour-long, like, procedure. And then...
And they're neurologists?
Nope, they're anesthesiologists.
Anesthesiologists. Yeah. Boy, do they have the personality of someone that's been numbed up themselves. Okay.
Yeah, it's a reason. There's a reason why they.
Ashley's mid-contraction, like fighting for her life in there, and they have the epidural halfway in. And the anesthesiologist is like, "Is your contraction done yet?" I was like, "Listen here, bitch. Okay, There's no tone and tenor. Whereas Emily, our nurse, phenomenal.
Obsessed. Did I tell you I'm getting coffee with her?
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow, really?
I'm so excited.
She was the best.
Yeah. We'll go back to that.
Yeah.
But yeah, so like I didn't realize it was that long of a procedure. Yeah, she's really feeling it too.
I know.
And then on top of it, I
Breezy.
also didn't know. I thought, so again, I truly pictured labor was going to be. Is there?
I think she blocked the light from her eyes. It's nice. She has no. There we go.
So the way I always pictured it was traditional. Like I thought my water would break at home. Then we'd go to the hospital, and no epidural, no induction. Obviously it's like that's like a perfect world, dream world. But I like was really trying to manifest this. I didn't realize. So we had to have my water broken.
Right. Well, first tell them how we check into a hotel the night prior.
Yes. So there was a snowstorm coming that day. In typical New England fashion, like they say snowstorm, nothing happens. But we were like, okay, we were spending like the week in East Boston anyway. So we were like, okay, if we go home, it was my due date. And we were like, if we go home, there'll be a massive snowstorm. I will go into labor and we won't be able to get out of the house. However, if we stay in the city, I'm sure nothing will happen. But we decided to stay in the city for that night, just in case it, like, I think made us feel calm, made my family feel calm. We were going back and forth anyway, so, like, whatever, just stay. And my back hurt so bad, I was like, honestly, I can really use a bath. So we got the hotel room, mainly for me to use the bath. And we get there, Kevin draws me a bath, he orders room service, he's eating, I, like, feel nauseous. I immediately after the bath get a migraine and start just like throwing up every time I sat down.
And we thought it was preeclampsia.
Preeclampsia, yeah.
There it is.
So, yeah, we ended up going into the emergency department, and I will say, like, thank God we did. But it was just like, you know, like you see signs, like remember like the snow. It looked like we were in a snow globe. Like the snow was so perfectly fallen, and then. We gave birth at Brigham and Women's Hospital, which is the best hospital in the entire world.
Best.
But like it's a popular hospital. Like it's a very well-known it's not just for labor and delivery. This is a popular hospital. It was a Saturday night snowstorm. There was not one single person, not one, in the emergency department. Not one. How?
Pretty crazy.
Literally how? But we get there, and my blood pressure was 160 over 100. So they admitted us.
A bit high.
Just a little high. But I didn't have preeclampsia.
It's crazy at that moment, though, when they're like, yeah, we can induce you into labor, and then we'll start the process. And you're like, whoa. Yeah. We came here. It's crazy. You know you're going to have a baby. Right. But then the night where they're like, yeah, let's get this thing started. And you're like, tonight?
I know. It was midnight, and we were in triage still. And they were like, all right, like, yeah, you can go to the car and grab all the stuff if you want. And you were just like...
I was like, I might go to the car and leave. Drive off the Zycam is where I might go.
I know. What was your, like, emotions? Like, we know what mine were and stuff, but, like, what was your, like, what were you feeling when
I was
we got
excited.
in there?
It's crazy that it's so scary, and I can't believe all humans come out that way. Like, it's just, there's not a better, more efficient system. Like, in 2025, we're still bringing life into this world by either natural birth or a C-section. Like, what are the storks doing? Where are the big birds that are going to deliver? Like, Jeff Bezos, where are you? That we should be Amazon priming babies.
Oh, okay.
You know, it should just be a right-click thing. 2 days later, here it is. Yeah. Baby. Super athlete. And it's just crazy that they're like, yeah, you labored for 24 hours. Yeah. Pushed for 3 of those hours. Yeah. And the whole time, I'm just like, when can I take a nap?
You did get more sleep than me, but not because, like, I think I was just like, oh shit.
It's just crazy. That whole experience is like, we were both like looking down on ourselves, like out of body experience. Because it's just like, I know, how is this the way, you know?
Yeah. I will say, if you are going to get induced, and this isn't like to scare you, because truly at the end of the day, like I posted on TikTok about it, but our labor got pretty scary at times.
And tell them what happened. Tell them the...
Oh, yeah, I'll go through the whole thing. But just to preface that. So it got pretty scary at times. It obviously didn't go to plan at all. But at the end of the day, like, my only real plan was life for Breezy and I. And we did that. And that's all that matters. And, like, the team was amazing. This isn't to scare you by any means. I hate when people try to like scare people. Like labor was absolutely beautiful. I loved it. It's probably as close to heaven as you can feel, like in real life, like without dying. But wow, if you're gonna get induced and you have to get the balloon put in, just know, and this isn't to scare you, this is just to prep you, the balloon is actually worse than labor itself. But if you can get through that, it's like an hour of pain with that balloon. You're good to go. Labor's fine. Don't worry about it.
They
You're
said
good.
balloon, and I was like, oh, I love balloons. Can you do like a sword or maybe a four-legged dog?
Could be not.
And then I saw where
actually.
they put the balloon. I was like, I don't think you're supposed to keep balloons like that. Which actually, revelation, everyone in the studio here has been inside mommy. Up top, Breezy. Anywho, volley for serve, back to you. You were saying your labor and delivery story, please.
Yes, a balloon was placed. That was pretty painful. We got like sent over to a room, and it's so funny. We're in triage, and Kevin's like, "Is this where you give birth?" It's literally like a 2x4. I'm
It's like the room seemed a bit tight.
yeah. God, we were in so many rooms. Oh yeah.
Big stretch. Oh yeah, get it out. That's the poop face. For those listening and not watching, if you watch on our YouTube, we have Breezy on camera right now, potentially pooping. Anywho, I'll change her. She poops. Love, take it away.
Let's see. So I labored all the way until I think 3 p.m. So we started the induction around like midnight. We got there at 10 p.m. and I labored all the way until 3 p.m. the next day, I believe, until I got.
Which is insane to think about.
I know that's, what is that, like 15 hours?
I thought your Target trips were long. Oh my Lord. When they were like, hey, it's midnight and we're in the emergency room, they're like, let's get this thing started. I was like, cool, like 2, 3 a.m.
Oh,
Like,
she's
baby's
so
gonna be
going.
here.
I want to forget that on camera.
Pooping?
Oh, yeah. Their sounds. Oh, honey.
I'm blind. The light. Oh, there's the light. Okay. Oh my goodness.
But it's funny. Remember, they were like, "Oh, so they set you up. Your belly has like 2 different monitors. One is to monitor my contractions. The other is to monitor her heartbeat or heart rate and
Her what?
heart rate."
Why would they monitor her clam chowder intake? Confused. Why would they? What were you saying? What was it?
But it's funny because I was literally in the middle of contractions, and a nurse was like, "You feel that, right?" And I was like, "I don't feel a thing, honey." And this is like no epidural, nothing. But I just have a high pain tolerance, and like, but remember they were like, "You're literally contracting right now." I was like,
Yeah.
Who knew?
You're like, I deal with Kevin on a daily basis.
literally. I was like, "Honey, nothing can hurt me right now. Try me." But so yeah, we labored until 3 p.m. the next day, and then I had to break my water. And this I also didn't know. So like, I always heard like your water breaks if it's a traditional breaking. You like puddle,
Right. Super soak that hoe.
and
That's Soldier Boys. Sorry. Go ahead.
and then they're like, "Oh, like wear like a pad or a diaper to the hospital because you'll be leaking." Leaking is what they say. No. So they broke my water. It was a burst everywhere. It's so hot too. It's like jacuzzi water.
Yeah.
And
The Hoover Dam unleashed.
Why today? What is going on?
I don't know.
Insane. So much. So we put like,
Where's a ShamWow when you need one? Sorry.
you need to go into like
Would have been a great ad
Chandler
right there.
Bing marketing or
Please.
something. Okay, so they put like the pad and the undies and whatever on me, and I'm on like the exercise ball now, having contractions. And every time I stand up, another, like, I don't know how this much water was in me.
It was crazy.
It was for hours. It wasn't leaking by any means.
No.
This was like,
they're
like Kevin was cleaning it up this whole time.
Oh yeah.
Everyone with a pair of slippers.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. It was very hot water.
Very hard.
Talk about the floor is lava.
And so many people warn me. They're like, "Oh, like, don't bring nice slippers to the hospital," because, mind you, they were Amazon slippers, but they're like, "Don't bring nice slippers to the hospital because after you give birth, when you stand up, things fall out." Nothing fell out of me after I gave birth. It was all my water breaking.
Yeah.
I had to text my sisters to bring new slippers because we had to toss them.
Camel had a lot of water.
Yeah.
That day.
But yeah, so I labored all the way till 3. And honestly, the contractions I didn't think were terrible for me. We were able to breathe through them like pretty quickly. You put like the pressure points on.
Yeah, and the
I had to
contractions
comb.
for me weren't as difficult as People make it out to say,
Did it hurt though? Like pressing?
Good forearm. Where as a guy, you're there giving lower back. You push. In. Ride the wave. Ride the wave. Ride the wave. 3, 2, exhale. It's nothing more than a Pilates class.
Right. The contractions weren't terrible when you get induced, or at least this is what people were telling me. So we were 4 or 5 centimeters dilated at this point. My contractions were a minute apart. That's it.
Yeah.
So I'd have a contraction, and as I was coming down from one, it was starting again, and I was just exhausted. It wasn't even that like the pain was too much for me to handle, because once we got the epidural, like I was able to stay pretty still,
right,
with no problem whatsoever. It was every minute, and like I was exhausted. What are you doing?
Just get some BTS to go.
But I was exhausted, so I was like, I need this epidural because there's no way I can now labor another 5 centimeters and then be expected to push. And we've heard stories of people who like push for 20 minutes, and then I've heard stories of people who push for 6 hours. So I was like, I need to like rest. So that's why we got the epidural.
Yeah.
But
You get the epidural, and then let's fast forward a little bit because it takes some time for you to dilate.
yeah, well, actually, after the epidural, they were pretty impressed with me. So I was like 5 centimeters getting the epidural at 3, and we were ready to push by 6. So I was able to go from 5 to 10 centimeters in just 3 hours with an epidural, which was pretty impressive, they said. Why are you laughing?
I just thought of a horrible joke. I can't even say it. I was going to say, like, you opened up like a school shooter to a therapist, Can't say it. Get it? Like, they've had a lot on their plate. They're opening it up to the therapist to tell all. You opened up. Anywho.
Is this like what happens when you become a dad? Like,
I think
don't
so.
know. Yeah.
Well, I actually dawned on me, too. Do you know why they call these shoes New Balance? Which, not just for their comfort and style, and these shoes do go with every outfit. Weddings, quinceañeras, on the grill, doing the grass, at the gym, lounging around the house, sporting events. They're called New Balance because when you become a dad, it's new, and life is all weird. You have to find your new balance in life. So, some food for thought there. Please, you were then 9 centimeters dilated, I believe?
10
centimeters.
But yeah, like talk about this whole time. So from all our nurses were incredible. I literally contacted them all on social media. But we had Emily during this day from 7A to 7P. And she was just amazing because I don't know if like, I don't know. We know so much about her life, and she knows so much about our life. Like, you literally become best friends with your... So in labor and delivery, your nurse is one-on-one with you, which is incredible. So she was basically in the room with us from 7A to... It would be 7P, but she stayed until 8:30 p.m. With us. So we know everything about her. I love it. Like, she was just like...
So now you're 10 centimeters, and it's showtime.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, Emily's shift is coming to a close.
Yeah.
She works 12-hour days. It's now 7 p.m. She stayed an hour and a half late, which is amazing. Amazing.
Yeah.
You're crying. She's crying when she has to leave.
All our doctors stay too.
Yeah. Do you guys hear that? Are you pooping? Are you pooping on air?
Poor Hurley back there right now. I was like, oh, take that one off.
I don't know if you heard the poop sound earlier there, but that was a little... That was loud.
Good job, Breezy.
That was loud.
Do you know that so many people thought we named her Breezy because she farts a lot? I was like,
really?
no.
Imagine.
Yeah.
Easy breezy.
But...
You start pushing. It's showtime.
Okay, stop pushing showtime. So also another thing that, like, I didn't realize is when you stop pushing, for the most part, I'm sure, like, they kind of know because there are people who literally push for, like, 5 minutes. But when I was pushing for the first, like, maybe half hour to maybe an hour, it was literally just Emily on my left leg and Kevin on my right leg. That's it. No doctor down there to catch a baby because baby wasn't coming.
The squad.
That's it. Emily, Kevin, nobody else. And I'm like, what? So, yeah, so that, I remember just being like, this is crazy. But then I, like, felt reassured because I was like, oh, that means, like, doctor's not needed right now. Like, everything's smooth sailing, going good, like, great. That quickly changed. So little do we know, and this is how great Emily is. And I think at this point, the 7P nurse came in, Anna. And so now, like, they're both in the room with me. great with us. All of a sudden, like, all these doctors start flooding in, and we realize, like, oh, things actually haven't been going well. And all this while I'm like, great, it's just like Kevin and the nurses. No, they're like texting the doctors, like, get the fuck in here right now.
So what's happening is anytime Ashley had a contraction, which you see on this big TV screen, she'd have this big contraction, and at the same time, the baby's heart rate would go way, way down. And then it'd be smooth sailing for a bit, another contraction, baby's heart rate goes way, way down.
So they were saying, like, obviously they don't know exactly what, but they were saying, like, a lot of the times when they see this happen, it's because the cord's wrapped around the baby's neck. So,
which is just not comforting to hear.
No,
you know?
but it's not, obviously, but, like, it's also good to, like, know. And I think what, like, not calmed me, but, like, they're saying it so easy. So, like, oh, this must be pretty, not normal, but you hear that and you're like, oh my God, like, the worst of the worst. And they're saying it and they're like, oh no, like, we deal with this. Like, it's fine. But they were saying, like, she was, like, recuperating, like, really well, or recovering really well. So, but, like, as you're contracting, your uterus is getting, like, rock hard. So, like, it was just putting pressure on the cord and tightening. And then all the while, too, they're doing ultrasounds to make sure baby's in position. She was sunny side up, which we kind of knew because I was having a lot of back labor. But she was sunny side up, and then her head was also, like, tilted. So they were thinking that also was putting a lot of, like, the pressure on her neck. So the doctor eventually was like, okay, I'm going to reach up there with my hand and turn the baby's head inside of you.
Which is just wild to see. You know?
To see?
Well, I can only imagine in it. But
yeah,
I'm sitting there eating salt and vinegar chips. And then all of a sudden the wife's like, you cool if I fondle your wife? By all means, get in there.
It is crazy. Like, I think it's, like, amazing, like, that just with healthcare, I guess. And again, like, how are we doing this in 2025 that a grown human can reach their entire hand up into your body and turn the baby's head? I'm like, can you just, like, pull her out too while you're up there?
Right.
But yeah, so they did that. They weren't able to fully turn her. It's not like she was still sunny side up, but they were able to, like, fix her chin a little bit. But then after they did that, her heart rate was no longer dropping. It's now spiking.
So mom spiked the temperature, baby spiked the temperature. Heart rates were going through the wazoo.
Yeah.
So much so that the NICU team is now in there.
Yeah, so now the team was like, okay, we have to call the NICU team in now because the fact, so, like, they're like, not to say birth plans out of it, but we wanted to do, like, the golden hour, skin to skin, all that stuff after. And they were like, sorry, the second she comes out, baby has to go to, like, the NICU team. So now we have, like, the 3 doctors that I had during the day who stayed, the, like, 3 night doctors. Then you have, like, 7 NICU people coming in. We have Emily, we have Anna. Anesthesiologists kept coming in because they actually nicked my dura mater while placing it. So then I was at risk for, like, infection and fever and headache. So they were constantly coming in. So there was, very quickly, it went from me, Kevin, and Emily to, like, 15 people. Oh, and that's not it, though. So now we have the fever. Whatever, we're pushing. Baby's not coming. They were thinking maybe, like, the fever too is because, like, my water had broken, all this stuff. But baby's stuck. And mind you, at this time, she's still only estimated to be, like, 7 pounds. I started 120 pounds, 5'1". She's stuck. So they're like, hey, because you have a fever, because your water broke so long ago, if she does not come in, like, the next, like, 10 pushes, we're going to have to use the vacuum. So now they have a vacuum team come in. And I, like, did not want this vacuum, but I also was like, this baby needs to come out. Is her bow?
Yeah,
I can fix it.
Bow. Honestly, you might just take her bow off. Yeah. There we go. Yes.
So now that was what, like, 3 more people who
the room's slammed in there. You're in there on the stirrups, beaver out.
Seriously.
So many people in there.
Oh my God, everybody.
Everyone's staying calm, but everyone's talking with their eyes. Like, you can see the stress in their eyes.
That's what they said. They were like, you guys don't need to stress till we stress. Do we look stressed? And Kevin and I like...
Yeah. If you're not stressed, why don't you tell your face that? Okay.
They all have, like, their masks on, and, like, literally just every single person there is, like, looking with their eyes.
Yes.
And mind you, like, everyone has so much. What was keeping me calm, a couple of things. One, we had Red Rock Worship playing, which, like, saved me because there would be periods during pushing where, like, the room just goes silent. I couldn't hear anything. It was truly like the movies, like, you're there, but you're not there, and everything's silent. And I could hear Red Rocks worship during that. So that like really, really helped me. And it was always the same song too. I don't know if we had that on loop or just like every time I came to, it was. And so that helped me. And then also there was like a big red alert on my page saying like, hey, homegirl's mom just passed away 4 days ago. So like, give her extra love. So I was like, this team of doctors would not put me through something they weren't confident in ever. Like, doctors just shouldn't do that anyways for you. But I was like, I think them knowing all that I've gone through, that like, we're not taking any extra risks here. So I also had to like trust the team so much. I'm like, I'm at the best hospital in the world. They could easily pull me in for a C-section. So the fact that they're not like, they're confident about this. But yeah, wow, it was crazy. But I will say, like, I was saying this to you, never in my life, when they say like, everything's like mind over matter, never in my life has my body given up before my mind. Like, if I'm like running a marathon, like my mind, I'm like, no, like F this, I'm not doing this. Like I'm checking out. Like you tell yourself to check out even if you say like you don't. This was the first time in my entire life that my mind was like, you got this, keep going. And my body gave out. There was like one contraction where like mid contraction, I like started crying. And I was like, I can't do this anymore. My body just like crashed. And I remember like mentally being like, no, like, you're good. Like, you can still do this. And I think that's what got me to actually get to push her out.
Yeah, 100%.
Because it was like, I was like pissed at myself. I was pissed at my body.
But it was the next contraction.
Yeah.
She was there, and it was beautiful.
Yeah.
It was going into it, I was like, oh man, like, as a guy, as an immature guy, you're like, oh, how's this all going to go? It was beautiful. I watched every second. Man, it's like watching your favorite sports team first and goal to win the Super Bowl, you know? And each push is like a yard. but when she enters that end zone, you know?
Yeah.
It is beautiful. I just see the crown of her little hair, you know, first poking out. And then I'm like, whoa, that's our baby.
Isn't that crazy?
And she's so, obviously, that's only that's showing is like the crown of her head, and then another push, and it's like almost to the ears. And then that third push, she was out.
Yeah, it's crazy because I feel like that was probably the most common question you got asked while I was pregnant. Like, oh, are you going to look? Are you going to look? And you're like, I don't know. Like, we'll see. Like,
in the moment, you're like, wow, what an immature idiot to be like, oh, I hope I don't faint.
Yeah.
Because then in the moment, you're like, oh, this is so beautiful. It's so pure. And oh my God. And then she came out, and obviously she's crying, but Ashley had like, almost was like hit with like a flashbang. Your ears were like probably ringing. I couldn't hear. Ashley's like, is she crying?
Yeah.
Is she crying? It
was like what I said earlier, like things just went silent. Like I couldn't hear her crying at all. So I'm like screaming. I'm like, is she like, because also they said she has to go to NICU. So I was nervous. And they ended up putting her on me right away. So then I was petrified because I'm like, why are you giving her to me? Like, go get her healthy. Like, I was panicking because I was thinking they gave her to me because, like, there's nothing else they could do or something. Like, they already knew that. But no, it just everything went, like, literally silent. You keep saying it was, like, the Polar Express.
Yeah,
when, like,
the kid that can't hear the bell.
I could not hear her crying. And everyone's like, she's crying.
And then they realized, oh, there wasn't an umbilical cord wrapped around her neck. She's just 9 pounds in this tiny little frame. So everyone left. And then quickly, pretty fast, it was just us and a few nurses again.
Yeah.
You know?
And the doctor's stitching me up.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah. Because then you give birth and like they take her to do all her tests. So Kevin, I was like, you go over there and like be with her. So they're
She's good.
Oh.
That's her.
So they're stitching me up. I had a couple of tears, and then it's funny too. They're like, do you want to hold her while they're stitching you up? And I was like, I didn't have the shakes that bad, but I think I was like so dissociated. I was like, no, not while stitching. Like, I don't know, like just keep her. So
it's
it was
amazing
incredible.
though. Like then it's just us.
Yeah.
And you're like, whoa, I'm now responsible. We are now responsible for this new life.
And they trust you so quickly with it. But it's true, like, anytime I've asked a friend, like, how many books did you read? Or, like, you know, like, oh, like, did you know a lot because your family has people? Everyone's always like, you just know what to do.
Yeah.
And it truly is because, like, you give birth. No one's honestly, like, we didn't get taught anything. Like, and not in a rude way, not like that the hospital didn't teach us.
Class or nothing.
Yeah. Why did we read any books? Yeah. But even while we're there, like, I thought, like, they would come in and, like, teach you how to even hold them.
Say hello to the new life.
Right. But, like, you literally just know what to do. You know how to hold them. You know how to feed them. You know how to change their diaper. Like, you just know. It's so wild.
Yeah, it is insane. My favorite part was after all that, you're in the wheelchair. They're now pushing us to our postpartum room, and you're just holding her. And I got 800 bags, because we all know how Ashley packs super light. So I have 800 suitcases and scuba gear for some reason as we're making our way through this maze of a hospital. And it was just like, it was like pure bliss. It was like so chaotic, but just so bliss.
It was so crazy because you're just like in this room.
Yeah.
Like, so we were in that one room. I didn't think you left the room. You left the room upstairs to, like, go get Panera and stuff. But, like, the actual labor and delivery room, I don't think we left at all for, 24 hours.
Yep.
Not even, like, in the hallway, because your bathroom's right there. Like, you do not leave this room. So suddenly, like, you go in just, like, fat and pregnant and, like, not even dilated. And then you come out with a life.
Yeah.
And it's just, like, oh, hello, world.
Yeah.
And you see, like, nurses at their stations and, like, it's, like,
But she's
so bizarre.
She's so a little you. She's
I think she's like the perfect little mixture, like look wise between us two.
like, she's definitely got your hair. You know, she's got your cute little lips. And for me, she
has your bowels.
She's got my credit card, I guess.
She has that
you know,
too.
so there's
works.
that, which is nice. You know,
it's so perfect. She's such a like perfect excuse for me. I'm like, Breezy wanted it. You're not gonna say no to your
that's the
daughter.
scary. That is the everyone's like, what's the one thing you didn't know about becoming a parent? I didn't know that, like, when you would say, hey, I'm going to Target.
Yeah.
Like, I would either come with and, like, ruin the trip, or I'd be like, oh no, let's do XYZ, anything else to get you from shopping. Now when you're like, I gotta go to Target to get her formula, Similac, hello, I'm like, oh no, I can't say no.
Right.
And then you go to get Similac and conveniently do a lap and now shop for yourself.
Well, I actually think they did that purposely.
Yeah, it's pretty
They
fascinating.
put the baby in the middle in the back. So in order to get there, you have to either go right, go left, or go through the middle.
Yeah.
Well, they definitely did that, like, purposely knowing, like, oh, mom's going to have to do, like, pass stuff to get here.
Yeah. It's expensive, gang, you know?
Yeah.
Diapers ain't cheap. Formula ain't cheap.
But you know, they don't tell either. That's one thing. So everyone always says, like, oh, diapers, they're expensive. Or, like, you go through so many diapers a day. Diapers. The wipes. Oh, my God. How many times are we in the middle of the night and we got the towel warmer? I think it was like $15. So worth it. And you pull out the last one, you're like...
That, if maybe we go over, like, top 3 must-haves to surviving a newborn.
I'm curious if we have the same ones.
Well, that you hit my first one already. I originally was kind of like, a wet wipe warmer, that's a waste of money. We wipe her butt now, she does not cry at all. Whereas before, you put something wet on her, she'd squeal around. Item number 1 for me is the wet wipe warmer. It's going to change your life.
And it's like literally like, I think it was like $12 on Amazon. It's not like it's, you know.
What about you? What's your first number 1 out of 3 items? 3 must-have items.
Snuggle me.
That's a good one.
Yeah, probably the Snuggle Me.
I will go. I also thought this was a ridiculous purchase by you, but it turns out I'm wrong again. A bit of a theme here. The baby Brezza.
Which one?
Both. I like both structures. We got two baby Brezza towers. One cleans everything, all the bottles.
Disinfects and dries.
Yeah, it's like a dishwasher, but for your baby products.
Yeah.
And the other one is like a picture going to your local barista and ordering up a baby chino.
Yeah.
You know, it's got her formula in there. You hit how many ounces, it mixes it with water for you, puts it in its bottle.
When I came home with those, it wasn't even the price that you were like, I don't say upset with, but whatever with. It was you hate things on a counter, and they're pretty bulky.
But
they're
boy, are they a
massive.
lifesaver.
But yeah.
Okay, what's your item number 2?
Honestly, I was gonna say those two as well.
All right, we matched
But Tubby Todd.
Tubby Todd.
Her baby acne was not that bad whatsoever, and a lot of it was because like we were like, I mean, it made me like a little sad, but like I've seen other babies with it, and like just toss some of that. Even like scratches, like babies will scratch themselves. You put Tubby Todd on there, literally within hours, like scratches.
Magical
gone.
ointment.
Yeah, Tubby Todd.
Ooh, my number 3. I'm gonna say is her. Do you know the name of the pillow that she sleeps in?
The Snuggle Me.
Oh, that's a Snuggle Me. Hilarious. Great.
We saved your friends with that too.
Yeah.
Yeah, they. So Kevin's best friend. It's so funny because you guys are a day or two apart, and then baby girls are now exactly a week apart, and
she's saying apart, guys, just so there's no.
But it's hilarious. They're pounds different. I think their baby, and we both had them. She had them at 39 and 6. We had her at 40 and 1. So they're literally like both full term babies. I think she was 6.5 pounds. Breezy was 9 over here. So it's so funny because when they're together, like Breezy is a week younger, but double the size. But they were saying how, I think they were saying like naps are hard for her sometimes. I could be making this up, but anyways, they put in the Snuggle Me while at our house and then literally went home and ordered it right away. And they were like, thank you
great.
so much.
Okay, what's your item number 3?
Honestly, those like, we got those in the hospital, the Similac 2 ounces.
These are great.
They are pricey, so you just have to do what works for you. Right now, since she's still doing numerous feeds a night, waking up every like 3 hours for a feed, those honestly have saved us rather than like go back downstairs, use the baby brother, get another bottle. We don't, or buy, people I know buy mini fridges for their rooms so that you make the bottles, put them in. For us, this is what works. She drinks 4 ounces, 2 of those every feed. They're ready to go. You shake them. Yeah. Like, I agree.
The convenience factor these days. My number 3, I'm going to go all of the Uppa Baby, the car seat, stroller. She's in the car seat right now. That's Uppa Baby. That clips right into her baby carriage.
Yep.
And then when we get to the truck, we pop her out of the carriage. She stays in that, obviously. It clips right into her car seat.
Yeah, they have the base that goes with it.
Fabulous.
Even like I've had to take this out and clean this because every time she poops in the car seat, it blows out just because of her position. And it was so easy to honestly take out, toss in the washer. Yeah. Like it was like a pretty easy clean. So no, I love Uppa Baby products.
Yeah, I agree. Wow. And then there were 3. Breezy, what are your thoughts? Anything you'd like to say here besides just pooping your pants? Good. That sounds like a stinky one. Okay.
That's on you. Yeah. What has been the biggest shock in becoming a parent or bringing home a newborn or what?
Biggest shock is definitely the shock to the schedule. You know?
Oh, did you think it was going to be a regular schedule?
No, I knew that going in, but everyone hears it. But it's like, it's different. Through the night, she's up every 3 hours. And people hear that and they're like, oh, okay, yeah, it's a little crazy. But it's like, no, like she's up every 3. Feeding her takes an hour. She's back down now for maybe 2. And then you get up and do it all over again.
And that's a good baby. Like a lot of people.
Yeah. I had a buddy the other day call me and he was like, oh, I got the worst night's sleep. And I was like, how many hours did you get? And he's like, I got like 6.5. And I was like, go fuck yourself, buddy. 6.5? Those without babies, do a fun thing tonight. Every 3 hours, just set an alarm.
And then stay up for an hour.
And sit there like this. And actually keep your hand like at a 45-degree angle. Because that's what we're doing. This is me at night. For an hour. And then go to sleep for 2 hours. And then when your alarm goes off again in 2 hours.
Make sure your alarm is a screaming baby too. No birds chirping.
And then wake up and see how good of a day you have. Okay?
We have a great day.
No,
I love it. I will say, you have to find what works in your relationship or schedule-wise for feeding and stuff. But I so look forward to the middle of the night feeds. I am half the time nodding out, probably gonna smack our foreheads together at some point. But I don't know. I think it's just like, I'm like, oh, good, you're good.
Yeah.
It's like a reassurance.
Well, Ashley does this fun thing where she sleeps at the foot of the bed because that's where we have the bassinet. Because heaven forbid she's 6 feet away, and it'd be better if she's 6 inches away from Brielle's face.
I don't think we're 6 inches.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. But it's good. Honestly, it's good. It is like such a blessing. I now feel like way more purpose in life.
Yeah.
I like that it's not about like us anymore.
Yeah.
You know, and what a gift she is. I mean, look at her.
Yeah.
She's the cutest little thing.
I know.
You know? What about you? What's been the biggest change? Besides being able to see your toes again.
Right. That's been great. Oh my God. God, I don't know. I guess like the days go so quick.
And the nights go so long.
It's so slow.
That needs to be a song.
It is a song.
Really?
Yeah, Gabby Barrett.
No, but like a baby song.
Well,
The days go
it's
so
about
quick. The nights go so long.
well, it's about having a baby.
What is that smell? Is something wrong? Oh, Breezy just pooped her pants again. Breezy just pooped her pants. If I change another diaper, I'm gonna commence. I don't know.
I don't think that's what that means.
I was all freestyle. You try freestyle a Breezy
can't.
song. I'll hit you with the beat.
Anyway, and that is
The days are so short. The nights are so long. What is that smell? Breezy, what's wrong? We need to make baby jingles.
yeah.
That'd be a hit.
I like it.
Okay. Closing thoughts as a new mother. Any what's your like top 1 or 2 tips for being a new mom? Maybe I've got from that questionnaire we did on IG the other day. A lot of people being like, baby's due in August, my baby's due in July, my baby's due in blah blah blah. What's the one like piece of advice you'd give to new parents out there that are about to go what you just went through?
I think my like one piece of advice is like honestly not to listen to one, don't let other moms or parents or anything scare you. You and I have said this all the time. Like even with labor, people are like, ugh, yeah, like the smell in their high, and you're like, it literally is the most beautiful experience ever. If anyone is coming at you with any, not even like negativity, but like the just waits, like, yes, you will have sleepless nights. Yes, the baby will cry. Yes, it's not easy, but it's not supposed to be easy. Like, it is the most beautiful gift in the entire world. You and I already are joking about baby number 2, like, without stress. Enough.
Without stress, guys. Imagine going through what you just did, and then you do it all over again.
But, like, it really is, like, just the most beautiful experience. I would say, on top of that, like, try your best not to have massive expectations because you will get like upset with yourself. Like I have a friend who just got induced 2 days ago actually because she has preeclampsia at 37 weeks, and obviously that wasn't her plan, and she's upset with her body for not being able to make her to 40. But it's like, you got her to 37 weeks. That's absolutely amazing. That is incredible that your body can do that. Life, that's all that matters. However they come into this world, C-section, induction, epidural, just
get him here, get him healthy.
Yeah.
It is crazy how people switch up though to that point. I feel like everyone around us, friends, family, people in our DMs, pre her here, they're like, oh my God, when you become parents, it's going to be so beautiful. You're going to love it. And then boom, she's born and everyone's like, oh man, idiots. No sleep, incredible. Poop everywhere. Everything's on fire. Gotcha. It's like, what happened?
Yeah.
You know?
No.
3 months ago, you were like, oh, it's just so blissful. It's just the best thing ever. There's nothing better than having a baby. And then it's here and they're like, they unzip. They're like, welcome to hell, baby.
I wish we could like motivate people, like, please just be positive.
Yeah.
Like, always like, obviously things are going to happen. And like, if someone reaches out for advice when that happens, great. But like,
right. Yeah.
It's so beautiful.
Yeah.
I love it.
Well, Breezy, you were one hell of a guest. I think you pooped twice on the show, which is pretty good. So,
Look, it seems like that.
2 poops, no real value add in the words, but we'll get there with you. You did great. Yeah, it's the All right, gang. Well, hugs and kisses. Until next time, we love you.